The scene unfolds in a stunning urban city, basking in the radiance of a sunny day and caressed by a gentle breeze that rustles the trees along the roadside. A magnificent house stands proudly on the corner, adorned with a vibrant lawn teeming with an array of colorful flowers. A luxurious car rests on the car porch, a symbol of elegance. A captivating young girl awakens, her eyes filled with a dreamy sparkle. The alarm clock on the bedside reveals the time. Stretching her arms and yawning, she rises from the bed, her golden locks cascading gracefully. With a graceful motion, she silences the alarm clock and proceeds to the closet. An assortment of clothes hangs neatly in sequence. Selecting her school attire, she discards her nightdress and adorns herself in a white shirt paired with a dainty bow tie, a gray sweater proudly displaying the school logo, and a black pair of pants. Glimpsing her reflection in the mirror, she carefully combs her hair before descending the stairs. In the hall, a maid respectfully appears and greets the young girl. Expressing her gratitude, the girl acknowledges the maid's presence and informs her that she will join her father for breakfast. Entering the dining room, she finds her brother, mother, and father gathered around the table, engaged in their morning meal. Her brother warmly greets her, wishing her a good morning. She reciprocates the greeting and takes her place at the table. Her father, seated opposite her, also extends his greetings, expressing his delight at seeing her, an unusual occurrence given his early departures. Inquisitive, she asks her father about his presence, remarking on the rarity of the occasion. Her mother interjects, admonishing her for being late, emphasizing the importance of being seated at the breakfast table on time. Apologetically, she acknowledges her mistake and expresses her regret. Her father, interested in her school progress, inquires about her studies. With a smile, she shares her enthusiasm, revealing her excellent grades and the possibility of being recognized as the top-ranking student when the results are announced later that day. Her hard-working mother interjects, cautioning her not to become complacent and emphasizing the need for continued improvement. Satisfied with her response, her father reassures her that all is well. The scene unfolds with an aerial view of a bustling town. Inside the school, children of all ages eagerly enter through the gates. It's result day, and a throng of students gathers around the notice board, anxiously checking their scores. Asuna, accompanied by her 3 friends, occupies a classroom. Her friends extend their congratulations for her consistently good grades. Modestly, Asuna responds, stating that she is in second place, with Anita still holding the top position. Among her friends, a girl with 2 ponytails mentions that Asuna is fortunate to be moving on to high school next year, placing her in the elite league. Anita, a striking girl with long purple hair and tearful eyes, enters the classroom and greets everyone with a warm, "Good morning." Asuna's face lights up upon seeing Anita, and she returns the greeting. Anita settles at the end of the classroom table. The other girls in the group harbor apprehension toward Anita, given her perpetually silent nature, her tendency to avoid social interactions, and her lack of friends. She always seems alone at school. The school day draws to a close, and Anita and Asuna find themselves sitting on a park bench, engrossed in a Tekken game on their mobile phones. Anita skillfully knocks out Asuna, offering her advice to focus more on attacking rather than relying solely on defense. Asuna expresses her perceived inferiority, believing she will always remain second to Anita, who excels in everything she does. Tenderly, Anita brushes her finger against Asuna's cheek and reassures her that she isn't second best, she just worries too much. She then introduces Asuna to an online game called Sword of Arts Online and suggests they play it together. Asuna hesitates, believing that girls shouldn't play games and citing her lack of gear as an obstacle. Smiling warmly, Anita encourages her to take a break and warns her of the risks of burning out. The 2 friends share a laughter-filled moment together. Upon returning home, Asuna changes her attire and heads to her brother's room, hoping to find him there. However, he is nowhere to be seen. Her eyes fall upon a game disc, Sword of Arts, resting on his table alongside a set of NVG game gear. Anita's words echo in her mind. Intrigued, she puts on the helmet and initiates the game. The game prompts her to choose a name and select her avatar. As she enters the virtual realm, she finds herself transported to a magnificent castle, a simulated world brimming with diverse players, each with their unique avatars. She marvels at the immersive experience and immediately begins asking fellow players about Anita's whereabouts. Their laughter greets her ignorance of the game's rules. Suddenly, a robust man with crimson eyes dashes toward her, swiftly taking hold of her and leading her aside. With a hushed tone, he reveals his true identity, assuring her that he is Anita, albeit under a different name in the game. Encouraging her to remain calm, he promises to explain everything patiently. Anita, now known as Mito within the game, proceeds to elucidate the rules. In this virtual world, everyone possesses their own avatar, and a weapons store in the town allows players to acquire equipment for battles against formidable creatures. Overwhelmed, Asuna expresses her apprehension, lamenting her lack of combat skills. Mito, understanding her fear, offers solace, revealing that her athleticism can be an advantage, her swiftness can outmaneuver opponents. Grasping Asuna's hand, Mito guides her through the castle, a captivating structure evoking the essence of medieval times, adorned with grand domes and bustling streets where hawkers and bazaars come alive. Asuna, feeling bewildered, expresses her intention to log out, but when she opens the game menu, she discovers a baffling absence of a logout button. Confusion fills the air as both she and Anita grapple with this unexpected predicament. Suddenly, warning signs materialize in the sky, multiplying rapidly until the entire heavens are engulfed in a crimson hue. From this spectacle emerges a colossal hooded figure with an inscrutable face, instilling terror within everyone's hearts. Identifying himself as Mishu, the game's developer, the enigmatic figure proclaims their entry into the world of Swords of Art Online. Mishu acknowledges the fear and anxiety gripping the players, clarifying that escape from the game is now impossible. In order to return to reality, they must conquer the game's 100 levels. Moreover, anyone attempting to remove the NVG gear from a player's head will be met with a fatal electric shock, akin to the unfortunate individuals whose lives were claimed when their gear was tampered with in the outside world. Mishu substantiates his claims by presenting news footage depicting these incidents worldwide, serving as a grim reminder of the game's lethal consequences. A wave of commotion ripples through the courtyard as players voice their discontent, protesting the perceived unfairness and their existing responsibilities. Mishu, his laughter filled with mockery, remains unaffected. Suddenly, the avatars of all the players transform, reverting to their true selves, further intensifying the fear that permeates the air. Mishu bids them luck before vanishing into the sky. Amidst this chaos, Anita, now in her original form, reaches out to Asuna, clutching her hands tightly. She explains that the only means of escape is to grow stronger, forging ahead and swiftly progressing through the levels. Together, they depart from the town and venture into the open fields. In their path, two wolves materialize, their life bars hovering above them. Anita courageously confronts the creatures, wielding her scythe to strike one down, obliterating its life bar. Meanwhile, the other wolf lunges at Asuna, who, overwhelmed with fear, sits helplessly, tears streaming down her face. The wolf sinks its teeth into her neck, causing her life bar to rapidly decline. Coming to Asuna's rescue, Anita delivers a powerful blow to the wolf's back, ultimately vanquishing it. She pulls Asuna to her feet, but the latter pushes her away, anger seeping into her voice as she blames Anita for her predicament. In a display of emotional solidarity, Anita embraces her, assuring her that she will protect her and emphasizing their friendship. Opening her game menu, Anita sends Asuna a friendly player request, urging her to trust in their ability to overcome the game's challenges together and emerge victorious, just as they have in the past. In a verdant field, two majestic bumblebees, their gleaming stingers poised, fill the air with their buzzing melodies. Amidst the swaying grass, Anita and Asuna take cover, concealing themselves from view. Anita turns to Asuna, emphasizing the significance of defeating such adversaries, as it augments their power and proficiency with weapons, ultimately aiding them in the forthcoming levels. Startled, Asuna musters her courage and approaches the bees. As the creatures catch sight of her, they charge forward with remarkable speed. Overwhelmed by fear, Asuna points her sword at one of the bees, striking it with a powerful blow that cleaves the creature into two pieces. A sense of exhilaration washes over her as she witnesses her accomplishment, propelling her to swiftly confront the remaining bee. With a determined leap, she swings her sword, expertly severing the bee's head, resulting in a vibrant pink fluid splattering across her face. Anita exclaims in excitement, highlighting Asuna's triumph. The power bars hovering above Asuna's head turn a vibrant shade of green. Eagerly, Anita beckons her, indicating that they still have a long journey ahead, with monsters and hunters lurking around every corner. To prepare for the increasing dangers, they must continue to strengthen themselves. Together, they traverse the expansive game map, gathering valuable resources and acquiring weapons from the town. Their path is punctuated by battles against ferocious wolves and relentless wasps, all in the pursuit of enhancing their capabilities. Asuna gradually hones her skills with the sword, mastering its techniques with each encounter. They arrive at the next level, a new town teeming with perilous dungeons and towering mountains. Intrigued by the prospect of uncovering a treasure that would bolster their strength and allow them to acquire valuable resources, they venture into a dungeon. To their dismay, all the treasure chests have been looted, and their hopes are swiftly dashed. Suddenly, cries of distress echo through the air, drawing their attention. They rush towards the source of the commotion, only to discover a group of players under attack by malevolent green goblins, their crimson eyes blazing with malice. Asuna, driven by her instinct to help, moves forward, but Anita intervenes, cautioning her against attempting a rescue. The overwhelming number of goblins renders it impossible to save the beleaguered players. Sensing the gravity of the situation, they retreat to the safety of the town. In a room filled with contemplation, Anita reflects on the fallen players, their anguished cries reverberating in her mind. Asuna enters, carrying health potions she had acquired from a shop, and presents them to Anita, who bears the weight of her apprehensions about the game's escalating dangers. Grasping Asuna's hand, Anita, despite her despondency, assures her that she will navigate the game with the utmost caution, safeguarding her from every peril. Overwhelmed by the profound love and concern emanating from her friend, Asuna embraces Anita tightly, expressing her heartfelt gratitude. Together, they pledge to protect each other until the very end. The following morning, they embark towards the daunting mountain, home to the dreaded pitcher plants. Anita imparts crucial instructions to Asuna, emphasizing the significance of sparing the ones adorned with red leaves on their heads. Destroying such plants triggers a smoke that serves as a distress signal, summoning their allies and escalating the challenge. Asuna attentively nods in agreement, and together, they venture further into the mountains. Encountering the menacing pitcher plants, they engage in a fierce battle, swiftly delivering decisive blows and progressing onward. Asuna, displaying agility and precision, leaps over a pitcher plant and swiftly strikes it down. Empowered by her triumph, she raises her sword, poised to vanquish another plant. However, the plant with red leaves falls victim to her blade, releasing a billowing cloud of smoke, and alerting its comrades to their presence. The relentless onslaught ensues, with the plants attacking in rapid succession, draining their life bars. Tragedy strikes as one of the pitcher plants strikes Anita, causing her to plummet from the mountain, leaving Asuna to face the horde alone. Desperate to return to her friend's aid, Asuna attempts to ascend the mountain once more, but the sheer number of adversaries obstructs her path. Undeterred, she valiantly battles on, employing her powers and skills to eliminate the remaining plants. Her life bar teeters on the brink of depletion, and with her last ounce of strength, she consumes her final potion, vanquishing the last foe. However, their triumph is short-lived as a colossal monster, an ape with the head of a dinosaur, launches a ferocious assault against Asuna. Anita, realizing her inability to reach the mountaintop amidst the multitude of pitcher plants, is overwhelmed by guilt. Recalling her vow to protect Asuna, she sheds tears of sorrow and remorse, taking the drastic step of removing Asuna as her friend and fleeing from the mountain. Asuna, on the precipice of defeat, witnesses a surge of memories, a montage of moments where Anita swore to safeguard her. With her life bar hanging by a thread, she succumbs to the monster's grasp, enveloped within its jaws. In a fleeting instant, a young boy wielding a green sword materializes, swiftly launching an attack that obliterates the monstrous ape, saving her from certain doom. The boy, Hokkaido, extends a helping hand to Asuna, offering to guide her to the nearest town. However, she politely declines, declaring her self-reliance and determination to proceed alone. Returning to town, Anita is haunted by memories of her vow to never abandon Asuna, and images of her family flicker through her mind. Overwhelmed by emotion, she seeks solace in a tavern, tears streaming down her face. She feels trapped in this never-ending game, convinced that she has no chance of returning home. Collecting herself, she wipes away her tears and resolves to fight until the end. Determined, she ventures into the dungeons, engaging in battle with wolf monsters. Hokkaido, the young boy she previously encountered, is also present and advises her against overexertion, reminding her that her energy is already depleted. He insists she replenishes her health with more potions and repairs her sword, warning that her reckless approach will result in her demise. Anita counters, mentioning the thousands of players who have already perished, expressing her belief that there is no way out of this game. Sympathetically, Hokkaido grasps Anita's hand and reassures her that they will emerge victorious by supporting one another. He suggests attending a town meeting for level 1 players, and together they make their way to the town center. A young lad with blue hair is delivering a speech about the level 1 boss, who resides in the tower. He emphasizes the need for unity in defeating the boss, emphasizing the potential consequences of failure. In response, all attendees form parties with their closest companions, leaving Asuna alone. Observing her predicament, Hokkaido approaches her, suggesting they form a party together and extend a friend invitation. Anita's recollection of extending a similar invitation in the past flashes through her mind, and she accepts Hokkaido's request. Continuing his speech, the young boy introduces a newly issued guidebook containing vital information about the level 1 boss named Ruin. He describes Ruin's weaponry, such as an axe, and reveals that its attack pattern changes when its life bar turns red. Ruin possesses 3 life bars, and any party that defeats it will claim its powers and resources. If multiple parties collaborate to defeat Ruin, the resources will be distributed among all participants. The young boy reminds everyone of the in-game currency they received, which can be used to equip themselves for the upcoming battle. A bald individual rises from the crowd, demanding an apology from the beta tester players who were already familiar with the game's rules, resources, and treasure locations, accusing them of allowing others to perish while benefiting themselves. Asuna recalls that Anita was also a beta tester. Another person, characterized by spiked hair, interjects, stating that it is not solely the beta tester's fault, as everyone had access to the guidebook that contained all the necessary instructions, albeit unread. He urges everyone to take responsibility for their own survival and not rely solely on others. Agreeing with the sentiment, the young boy who was delivering the speech concludes the meeting, announcing preparations for the boss fight. The following morning, at 10 o'clock, everyone is ready. Asuna notices Anita among the crowd. During the nighttime festivities in town, where ale flows freely at the tavern, Asuna finds herself alone under a dimly lit street lamp, nibbling on stale bread. Approaching her, Hokkaido asks if he can join her. She nods in agreement, and he settles down, producing a bottle of cream. He encourages her to try it, spreading some on her bread as well. As she takes a bite, her eyes widen with delight. The cream is unexpectedly delicious. Hokkaido remarks that they need to strategize for the upcoming battle and suggests a place where they can spend the night to restore their energy. Together, they make their way to his residence, a stunning house nestled amidst the fields. Asuna is taken aback by the grandeur and takes the opportunity to freshen up and change into clean clothes. To her surprise, Hokkaido presents her with a level 4 sword. Confused by his generosity and unwavering support, she questions his motives. He responds, explaining that she is his valued party member and he doesn't want to see her perish. Rising from his seat, he declares they should visit the blacksmith to enhance her sword before the shop closes. Emerging into the night, they find themselves surrounded by a starry sky and lush green fields stretching in every direction. Curious about the topic of beta testers, Asuna turns to Hokkaido and asks if the claims made by the bald man are true. Hokkaido, meeting her gaze, replies with a thoughtful tone, "Do you personally know anyone who is a beta tester?" Her eyes welling up with tears, she responds, "Yes, she was my real-world friend. But she abandoned me in the game, leaving me to fend for myself for the sake of resources." Understanding the weight of her emotions, Hokkaido offers his perspective, acknowledging the inherent danger of the game. In this world, where life and death are at stake, people can change. We shouldn't judge them solely based on their actions here. We can only judge them by how they behave in the outside world. Asuna's thoughts wander to memories of Anita's caring nature back in school, and she finally comprehends why her friend made that difficult decision. Grateful for Hokkaido's understanding, she expresses her appreciation. Hokkaido gazes deeply into her eyes and declares that he would not leave her. Asuna looks at him tenderly, her affection for him growing stronger. She walks closely behind him as they make their way towards the forgery. The following morning, all the members of the game, accompanied by their respective parties, set out toward the tower in order to defeat the level 2 boss. Walking through a lush green forest adorned with colossal trees, they follow a path that leads them closer to the tower. Asuna and Hokkaido find themselves trailing behind the others, taking this opportunity to devise their battle strategy. Asuna playfully suggests, "Just imagine if we had a real-life fantasy world like this, where we had to face bosses at every level." Hokkaido chuckles and says that he battles with his boss in the real world. He suggests they should focus on survival and go to the tower. The tower looms before them, its massive wooden gate adorned with golden knobs. The players ahead open the gate, revealing a lengthy alley adorned with fire torches along the walls. They all step inside, and as the door closes behind them, they proceed through the alley, eventually arriving at a courtyard where the boss awaits. A colossal red wolf, its eyes ablaze, dons gleaming steel armor and wields a mighty axe. With a powerful leap, it swings its axe through the air, causing small blue orbs to cascade from its strike, transforming into wolf sentinels that protect their formidable leader. The players divide into groups, with one group tasked with defending against the boss's attacks while the others aim to strike from behind and bring the boss down. Asuna and Hokkaido take on the responsibility of eliminating the sentinels. The battle commences, swords clashing and creating sparks that fly through the air. A player with striking blue hair, showcasing the remarkable technical skill, swings their sword with precision, relentlessly chipping away at the boss's health and shattering its armor. In response, the boss roars, launching into the air, unsheathing its sword, and raising it high above. The blade ignites with fiery red flames as it swings down, striking the blue-haired player in the chest and sending them hurtling away. Their life bar rapidly depletes, reaching a perilous shade of red. Hokkaido rushes to their side, holding them and attempting to administer a health potion. However, the wounded player refuses, uttering a resolute request to defeat the boss and save the others before succumbing to their injuries. Hokkaido's anger surges as he turns his gaze toward the boss, who summons more sentinel wolves to attack the remaining players. Channeling his best powers, Hokkaido's sword emanates a vibrant green aura as he strikes at the boss. However, the boss swiftly counters his attacks, forcing him backward. Meanwhile, Asuna dashes towards the boss with remarkable agility, aiming her strikes at its legs and delivering fatal blows. With only a sliver of health remaining, the boss leaps over her, delivering a devastating blow that sends her crashing to the ground. Just as the boss lifts its sword to deliver a final blow, Anita appears, wielding a purple scythe, intercepting the boss's attack and inflicting a severe wound to its abdomen. Capitalizing on the opportunity, Hokkaido quickly regains his footing and launches another powerful strike at the boss's head. The boss is sent hurtling through the air, ultimately crashing down onto Asuna. Undeterred, she rises to her feet, lifts her sword, and channels all of her strength into a mighty swing that severs the boss's head. Its health bar depletes completely, and the boss explodes into countless fragments. The sentinel wolves meet a similar fate, dissipating into nothingness. Cheers of jubilation fill the air as the players revel in their victory. Amidst the celebration, Asuna and Hokkaido stand side by side at the end. However, a man with spiky hair confronts them, accusing Hokkaido of withholding vital information about the boss's attacks due to his status as a beta tester, labeling him a cheater. Hokkaido responds with laughter, dismissing the accusation. He explains that his extensive experience as a tester allowed him to anticipate the boss's moves, ensuring their survival. He boldly proclaims that he saved them all and instructs the man to silence himself. The others begin referring to him as a beater. Hokkaido opens his game menu, changing his appearance to don a long coat with a sword design on the back. He declares his intention to move on to the next level, offering to teleport anyone who wishes to continue. Asuna, bewildered by Hokkaido's unexpected transformation, remembers his previous affectionate behavior towards her. As he passes by, he gives her an apologetic look. She clutches the sword he had bestowed upon her. Anita rushes to Asuna, expressing remorse for leaving her behind. However, Asuna interrupts her, stating that she no longer needs her, and turns away. Anita, filled with regret, tearfully wishes her luck. Hokkaido opens the towering door to the second level and steps through. A breathtaking landscape greets his eyes, with lush green fields, towering mountains, and sparkling lakes. Letting out a sigh, he is surprised to find Asuna running towards him. Turning to her, he admonishes her, reminding her that he had instructed her not to follow. But Asuna, captivated by the beauty of the new level, exclaims her all. She then redirects her attention back to Hokkaido, expressing her gratitude for everything he has done for her. She confesses that for the first time in her life, she has found something worth striving for, and it's him. Hokkaido, feeling a sense of worth and appreciation, apologizes for not revealing his beta tester status earlier. Asuna assures him that she now understands and expresses her desire to accompany him wherever they go, vowing to conquer the game together and return to their own world. With determination in their hearts, they embark on their journey toward the next level. Someone behind the door in a hood was listening to them, and so they are the top players of the game at this point. Now this should be interesting.